Hi, and welcome to the Science of the Good Life. I'm Louisa Jewell, and I'm here today with Patrick Howell, and we're talking about the positive workplace. Now, Patrick is one of the co-authors of this how-to guide that was written for the American Society of Training and Development on how to create a positive workplace. And we're really thrilled to have him here today to talk about an interesting idea on how to change your workplace into a more positive workplace. So, welcome, Patrick.
Hello, Louisa, and all my friends up there in Canada. Hi.
Well, it's wonderful to have you. Tell us a little bit more about the work you do.
I'm in quite a few areas. My company does strength-based organizational development work and also coaching, really runs the gamut in coaching, executive coaching, life coaching. I'm also the executive director of a group called the Institute for Advanced Human Performance, which runs programs in the public setting on things like applied positive psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, and really just life skills in general.
Now, you're in New Jersey, right?
I am, yeah, I'm about a mile away from the beach.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So we'll put links to that below this video as well so people can find out more about that. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today is you talk in this guide about how to make change. And sometimes change can be really scary for people when we're trying to make big change. And you had a really interesting suggestion on how to make it easier for organizations to make change. So can you share that with us?
Yes, and probably the suggestion that you're referring to was referenced by Charles Duhigg's work on habits, and he wrote a book on habits, and he identified something known as keystone habits. And so, because you're right, in organizations, making change can be really difficult. So this concept of keystone habits really revolves around just identifying one thing that if we do it differently, we do more of, we do less of, that can have an impact not just in that area, but as a keystone habit actually filters through the entire organization. For example, I'm still doing some work with an organization, and one of the teams decided to take on, throughout this process, looking for a keystone habit, something that they can do differently. As an applied positive psychology coach, one of the things that came to me was the concept of active constructive responding. And active constructive responding, just for the viewers, is really what metaphorically I would say it's leaning into somebody else's good news, really helping them explore it and savor it. And what this team decided to do was amongst themselves was really to take on as a habit, actively constructively responding to their other team members' good news. And what they really started to see was better relationships and more dialogue amongst the team, a lot more positive emotions. And as we move further in the process, I'm sure we know that better relationships really lead to higher productivity, greater engagement, and better return on investment if you're a stakeholder or a shareholder in the organization. So keystone habits are really important, and they can be small. They can seem very small at first. But when we look at something and take a smaller or a Kaizen step, an incremental improvement in one area, it can really filter through, in this case, an organization, but really just as importantly in people's lives, taking on a keystone habit.
Yeah, especially when it comes to personal relationships. So I really like that because instead of saying we're going to change and we're going to make a big change and make sure all our personal relationships are great, it's just one little simple specific tool. People know when to use it. It's when they're trying to capitalize on good events. So it's not, with everything that they're doing. So I really like that. Now, give me an example. So say I came to you and I said, Patrick, we just had a great conference and I'm so excited. So if you did an active constructive response, what would you say?
Well, I would actively lean in, and I think we did this right before we got on live here. I would lean in. I'd be excited, genuinely excited for your good news. I'd want to ask you questions, demonstrate eye contact, ask you, well, tell me, how did it go? What did you learn? What went on there? How was it so successful for you? So in other words, what I'm really doing is I'm sharing your good news with you.
Right.
Which helps me. It helps me to feel more connected to you. It helps you to feel more connected to me, and it helps you to savor you with the good news. Savor the fact that okay, wow, you had a really great experience at your conference, and that Shelley Gable is really the person who coined active constructive responding and did a lot of research on it, and she shows that that's really a key piece to driving lasting bonding relationships is how we respond to people when times are good.
Yes.
Right? Will you be
Yes.
there for me when things are really going really well?
Yeah, and that's not intuitive, isn't it? We always think we need to be there for people when times are rough, but we know that building relationships can come when we savor other people's good news. So that's
Yes.
great. Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that simple little tip with us. It was great to have you on the science of the good life. So thanks so much, Patrick. I hope you have a great day.
Okay. Thank you, Louisa.